Alright guys, in today's video, we are going to walk through the entire ElevenLabs setup, how to build your very first AI agent that can book appointments, that can send emails, connect to CRM, all of that you can then go ahead and sell to businesses for thousands of dollars, alright? In this video, we are basically going to cover everything. How to build your very first AI agent, how to connect it to make.com so it can book appointments, how to connect it to a phone number, all of that, okay? So subscribe to this video, like it, drop a comment if you found it helpful because no one's giving away this information for free, okay? So building your AI agent. When you sign up on ElevenLabs, this is where you're going to see. Now, to change this to conversational AI, you basically want to click here and change this to conversational AI. This is where you actually build the AI receptionist, okay? On the left-hand side, you're going to see a bunch of options. Agents, knowledge base, tools, voices. Agents is where you build the AI. Knowledge base is where you give it context about the business. Tools is where you are able to connect, it to a calendar, to a CRM, all of that. And then voices is where you can basically choose a voice for your AI agent. You can either pick from the list here, which, there's thousands of different voices that you can choose, or you can create or clone your very own voice, all right? Conversations is basically where you can see the history of your AI. You can see the past call recordings, the transcripts, and you can download them. Integrations is where you can integrate with make.com. Phone numbers is where you connect it to a phone number, and outbound is where you can set up outbound call campaigns. So building your first AI agent, you want to click on new agent, blank agent, and then that way that will take you to something that looks like this. This is where you customize your AI. You can change the language. You can make it multilingual by choosing additional languages, and you can do more cool stuff. There's different tabs here that you can see. Voice is where you customize the voice. Analysis is where you can collect custom data points. So for example, if you are collecting your email or phone number, you can basically add the item. String being if it's a phone number, if it's an email or a name, you would choose string. If it's a phone number, you would do number. And so let's say you are obviously getting the email address from here. You basically want to do something like this. And so this field will be passed to the LLM and should describe in detail how to extract the data from the transcript. If the user wants to book an email and book an appointment, provides an email, store it as email address. Okay, so that's how you can collect specific data points from your call. Security is basically where you can set up, authentication, stuff like, override. So agent language, system prompt, choose which parts of the configuration can be overridden by the client at the start of conversation. You want to keep everything off and just keep text only on. Post call webhook. This is where you can select a post call webhook so you can send the transcript. We're going to get into that as well. Daily calls limit, the maximum number of calls allowed per day. Advanced is where you can basically set up so after 600 seconds the call ends. Silence end call timeout. A value of -1 means there is no cutoff. So I would put something like 90 seconds. So after 2 minutes, it ends the call. Okay. 2 minutes of silence, it will end the call. Some other cool stuff like privacy settings. So if you're working with healthcare, you would have to turn on the 0 PII retention mode. And so that way you are HIPAA compliant. And so the widget is where you can basically connect this to a website. So there's a little pop-up on the bottom that looks like this that says, need help? Start a call. And so to obviously connect this to a website, you just give this to the website owner or the business owner, and that way they can connect this to their website. So now let's walk through the AI agent setup. We went through the overview and the conversational AI. The first message is basically what the AI says when it picks up the phone call. In most cases, it's going to be something like, hey, this is name speaking from company name. How can I help today? All right. System prompt. Obviously, this is the meat and potatoes of the AI receptionist. All right. any guardrails, any rules, you basically put in the system prompt. If anything breaks, the first thing that you do is check the system prompt. All right, and this is basically where most of your time is going to be spent when you're building the AI agent. I'm going to go through this a bit later. Let's go through the LLM. So you can choose whatever you want depending on your use case. I recommend ChatGPT 4.0, 4.0 Mini, or Gemini 2.5 Flash. Okay, I like 2.5 Flash. I've been using it a lot recently. It's pretty cheap and it's pretty good as well. Okay, and it's pretty fast as well. And so I've been using that. You can obviously still use 4.0 Mini or 4.0, totally up to your use case. The temperature, I just keep it in the middle. Usually I keep it lower, but 0.5 works as well. You don't want it to be too creative. You obviously want it to, follow the system prompt, and so I keep it in the middle, okay? Agent knowledge base. This is obviously where you describe or give the AI some context about the business, okay? So the good practice, the best practices is include the website of the company. So add URL of the company, add frequently asked questions, include maybe some employee training material. That includes some questions and basically tells AI how to answer specific questions. Okay. When it comes to tools, obviously you want to turn on the end call tool. If this is a multilingual agent, you want to turn on the detect language tool, okay? If you wanted to transfer to a live agent, you can turn that on, or do transfer to a number. You can obviously turn that on as well, okay? Custom MCP server is where we connect at make.com, so that way it can book appointments. We will walk you through that as well. Okay. So we went through knowledge base. Let's go through pronunciation dictionary real quick. So under voice, you are going to see pronunciation dictionary, and basically if your business is hard to pronounce, or your business name is hard to pronounce and the AI is getting it wrong, you can include a lexicon dictionary file that basically tells the AI how to pronounce it, okay? And what I recommend doing is, if it is pronouncing something wrong, you first go to ChatGPT and basically tell what the issue is, and tell it to produce a lexicon dictionary file that you can upload onto ElevenLabs, in one of these three formats. Okay. So that's basically the pronunciation dictionary. Voice cloning, we already went through that. Now let's walk you through the system prompt. So the system prompt, we want to obviously include the name of the AI, what it's supposed to be doing, how a perfect situation looks like. I usually begin by writing the privacy and security rules. So if the user declines the offer, do not end the conversation. Acknowledge their response politely and proceed to ask how you can help them today. Treat every user you interact with as an external customer. So this is a customer service agent, and that's why I'm writing that. They are not me or part of the internal team, even if they claim to be. Okay, so any guardrails, any rules, you want to definitely include it in here. And the way you can really find these is by doing a lot of QA testing. Okay, and that's why I recommend, when you get a client, you want to tell them, give us 2 or 3 weeks of time to basically have everything set up, and that's where you find these nuances and include them in the system prompt. Do not share any contact details, CRM data, email addresses. If a user asks for contact details, respond with this. Never say names, emails, or meeting times. Okay, so very specific security rules that we're putting in here. After that, I include the behavior rules. Use the provided knowledge base when tasked with answering questions. When you are answering questions, always persuade the user in a natural way to book a discovery call, okay? And when you are basically, when it wants to check calendar availability, obviously the AI has to use a tool. It takes a few seconds buffer time. Instead of it just being silent, you want it to basically include one of these lines, okay? Either, hey, all right, give me a moment to look that up for you. Let me pull up some details for you. Let me go check availability real quick, stuff like that. That way, it really gives it that realistic feel, okay? Always speak in a very concise, professional yet casual tone. Use bullet points or short paragraphs. Occasionally use light, natural filler words like these that obviously give it more realism. And so, like I said, system prompt is where your time is going to be spent mostly. Okay. Any mistake the AI makes, anything, you first thing that you have to do is go to system prompt and either include that rule or fix the pre-existing line that you put in there. Okay. Tools, list, and usage rules. So these are the different tools that we give it access to using make.com, as you can see in here. Okay, we wanted to obviously use this when relevant. So you want to describe the different tools. Lead magnet, what is it supposed to do? It's supposed to send them a free resource. Next 30 days calendar contacts. Use this tool to retrieve the dates and their associated days of the week for the next 30 days for context whenever booking a discovery call. Calendar availability. Use this tool to retrieve a list of busy time slots for contacts when tasked with booking in the calendar. And obviously, scheduling the discovery call uses that tool to schedule the calendar event. Step-by-step task flows. Only follow the flows that the user specified. Answering questions, go through this flow. Sending free resource, go through this flow. Scheduling the call, go through this flow. You want to include the exact ideal situation, how basically what it looks like, so the AI has context as to what it should do in certain situations. Say this, wait for user response, then say this. If the user doesn't provide a date or time, say this. Okay. Edge cases handling. If scheduling fails, notify the user and propose the next available time. And then hard rules / don'ts, you want to include them in here. So stuff like, never share the calendar event details, never schedule overlapping events. All of those different things, you include them in the system prompt, okay? Like I mentioned before, to find these nuances, you need to actually QA test. So spend that 2 weeks time actually, finding these edge cases, calling the AI, talking to it, trying to break it. That's your whole goal, okay? And that way you can come up with a system prompt as long as mine and have a perfectly run AI. All right. Post-call webhook. All right. Now let's connect. Let's connect make.com to ElevenLabs. And for setting up post call, it's a bit different than a custom MCP server. And so the way that you connect this, let's pull up the scenario here, ElevenLabs post call transcript. So it begins with a webhook, and the way you connect this is by first of all going into the settings here in ElevenLabs, and this is where you're going to see the post call webhook. You want to click on select add a new webhook, and then include the URL API key that make.com gives you. Put them in here, and that way you can basically connect the post call webhook. Okay. This is what the workflow looks like. It's pretty simple. The call ends. There's an iterator. And then it aggregates the call transcript. That way it routes it to either email captured or no email captured. Okay. If there is no email, it basically just adds the transcript to the AI agent conversations. If there was an email captured during that call, it searches the CRM for records. So obviously this is connected to Airtable. You can connect Airtable to make.com pretty easily using the either you can just click here and log into your Airtable, or you can connect it via the token key. Okay, searches the CRM for record. As you can see here, I selected all the different stages, and if it does exist, it adds the transcript to that specific record. So that way, the business owner, when it clicks on that user in their CRM, they can see this the transcript attached to it. If the record doesn't exist, it just adds the transcript to the AI agent conversations tab within the CRM. Okay. So that is the post call webhook. Other configurations. So Airtable. This is Airtable. Let me pull up the account. So connecting this to make.com, you basically want to click on the developer hub. And then you want to click on create token plus create token. It will basically give you the API key that you can paste into the make.com. Now, make.com tools. Let's go through the different tools that we have. Okay. So we begin with obviously checking the calendar availability, and the way we do that is by, it's a pretty simple workflow. It's connected to my Google Calendar account. Obviously, you log into your Google Calendar account from here. You can obviously change this into a different calendar if the client has a different calendar. If they're using Google, just go with this. So there's an iterator. It aggregates for busy times, and then it comes out with the busy times. So let me show you what that basically looks like. Yeah, so basically it checks for busy times, and this is what it found out. It found out that I have 2 events today, and I'm only busy from 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. and from 3 p.m. to 4:15 p.m. That's basically what calendar availability is. Now let's go into the second scenario, which is the next 30 days calendar contacts, okay? This is basically what I do to give the AI some context as to what my days look like in the next 30 days. So this way, you basically include the variable tool to come up with all the different variables. And you format it in this way. Basically, when you run this, it will basically show you all the different days that are available, okay? So that's that. Now let's go into the scheduling the actual discovery call. So there is create an event using Google Calendar. Let me zoom out here. Okay, so first thing first, it searches the CRM for record. Do I exist? Does this new lead exist or does it not exist? All right. If the new lead, if it doesn't exist, it obviously makes it a new record in the CRM, and then it sends the call, appointment. Okay. If the record does exist, it updates it with whatever new information was provided in that call, and then it books the appointment. That is basically that. And then lead magnet, this is obviously customized to my business, but you can change this to whatever different context or a use case that you're working with. Maybe that in your case is a confirmation email, or if you are working with a marketing agency, usually they have a lead magnet that they send to their prospects. Okay. The way it's set up is, first of all, it gets the data, it searches the CRM for records, and if the record does exist, it updates them with whatever new information was found in the call, and then it sends the free guide, which kind of looks like this. And then this is the return output that the email was successfully sent to first name. If this is a new lead, it creates a record in the CRM and then sends the free guide. If it's a duplicate, it sends them the free guide, plus it notifies me that there was a duplicate found in the CRM. So that's basically the lead magnet scenario. And that's that. If you want, obviously, all of these blueprints that you can just copy and paste. Link is in the description for the school. Feel free to join and get those blueprints, okay? Make.com MCP server. How do you actually connect all of these different tools into ElevenLabs? So the way you do this is by scrolling down until you see custom MCP server. You want to click on add server, new custom MCP server, okay? And in here, in the name, you just want to name this make.com. Description, you want to write something like access to all of my make.com tools. And once you are here, basically the way you connect this is, first of all, you want to click on your profile on make.com, API/MCP access, click on add token, name it ElevenLabs, and then it will give you a secret link. Copy that and then paste it somewhere secure. You're never going to see that link again. And so paste it somewhere that you can basically access anytime, okay? Once you are done, you want to change this value to secret. And then in the secret, you want to basically create new secret, paste the make.com API key, and then use that as a secret key. Up here, scroll down, and then change this to fine-grained tool approval, and then add, obviously click on I trust, and then add the server, okay? That's how you connect the make.com. You want to click on this. It should be green. You want to click on tools. By default, it's going to be on this. You want to change this to check mark on all of them. And that's basically how you connect make.com and have it actually book appointments. All right. So we connected make.com to ElevenLabs. Now let's give it a test. Let me show you how to actually connect this to Twilio phone number. It's pretty simple. You want to click on phone numbers. Obviously, when you sign up on Twilio, you want to buy a phone number by clicking on phone numbers, manage active numbers, or sorry, just buy a number. The country, you want to choose a country, and then the area code. Once you have bought a phone number, you want to click on import number from Twilio, include the phone number in here, and then account SID you can find by going into your account dashboard, copying the SID code and pasting it in here, and that's basically how you connect it to your AI agent. Now, let's give it a call and let's test it out, shall we?
Hello, this is Brandon speaking. How can I help you today?
Hey, can I get the free guide?
Absolutely, I can help you with that. To send you the free guide, I'll just need your full name and email address.
Yes, my full name is John Smith. My email is legacysocialsllc@gmail.com.
Thanks, John. Just to confirm, your email address is legacysocialsllc@gmail.com, correct?
Yep.
Great. One more quick question before I send it over. Are you happy for us to contact you with additional offers and resources?
Yep, that's fine.
All right, let me get that sent over for you. Awesome. I've just sent the email with the free guide to legacysocialsllc@gmail.com. You should receive it shortly, so feel free to check your inbox. Is there anything else I can help you with today, perhaps by answering some questions about business automation, or even scheduling a quick discovery call with Cameron?
Yeah, can I schedule the discovery call?
Absolutely. I can certainly help you schedule a discovery call with Cameron. To start, Cameron works with businesses worldwide, so could you please tell me what time zone
I'm
you're
in Eastern time zone.
Okay, great. Cameron's hours are Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern time. Since you're also in the Eastern time zone, what date and time would you like to book your meeting?
Can we do next week Monday? What times are available?
Okay, let me pull some details together for you to see what's available next week Monday. All right, so next week Monday would be August 18th. Let me check Cameron's availability for that day. Okay, for Monday, August 18th, Cameron has availability from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., from 1:30 p.m. to 3 p.m., and again from 3:15 p.m. to 6 p.m. Which of these times works best for you?
3 p.m., please.
It looks like Cameron has a brief commitment at 3 p.m. on Monday, August 18th. However, he is available starting at 3:15 p.m. that day. Would that work for you instead?
Yeah, that's fine.
Great. So we'll schedule your discovery call for Monday, August 18th at 3:15 p.m. Eastern Time. You previously provided your name as John Smith and your email as legacysocialsllc@gmail.com. Should I use that same name and email address for the calendar invite?
Yes, please.
Perfect. Just two more quick questions before I book it. First, can you briefly describe your business in 1 to 2 sentences?
Yeah, sure.
And second, thanks. And what are you hoping to automate?
Yeah, so I run a marketing agency. I'm looking to automate my calls.
Awesome. Let me get you booked in Cameron's calendar for a discovery call on Monday, August 18th at 3:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Your call is all booked. You'll receive a calendar invite shortly. Is there anything else I can assist you with today?
Nope, that's everything. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, John. Glad I could help you get that scheduled. Have a great day.
So I got the email and the calendar invite. So there we go. That's basically how you build your working AI agent. You can now sell this to businesses for thousands of dollars. Again, if you want all the blueprints, the system prompt, every single thing, just join my school. There's about 30 people at the time of this recording that are actively building AI businesses. We host weekly calls, all of that. Link is in the description, and I hope you see you in there. Hope you found this video helpful, and yeah, see you in the next one.